G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the purple trunks, playing as the French, we've got Fei-chan. And in the north of the map in the color green, playing as the Ottomans, we've got Noha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here for the first time on the brand new patch, watching some more Ottomans. I tell you what, I've been loving the Ottomans a lot in this recent patch. The fast Imperial, it's kind of got me a little bit giddy inside. And I'm curious to see what we're going to see out of these players today. Noha, going to be opening us off with the early military school, as you would suspect, or at least as I would suspect. Come on, where's that military school at? Noha, come on, get it together. Anyway, speaking of getting it together, if you'd like to help me get it together, make sure you leave a like down on the video below, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out with the traction of the content. But there's the military school now coming up here for Noha. Now, let's start off by just talking about this matchup generally. French love to open up with that school of cavalry. They love to get that knight out super duper fast, look to put on that pressure, whether it's onto the stone mine, whether it's onto the gold mine, whether it's a sneaky little raid through onto your wood line. They try their best to do that. Obviously, the counter to the knight is the spearman, and what is it that Noha is going to be able to have access to immediately from the beginning of the game for free? It's the spearman. So already you can start to see the early stages of this matchup, how the advantage sits with the Ottomans. And I'm curious exactly how Fei is going to look to adjust her playstyle here up against the Ottomans, because we've now started to see this, I would say, decline away from Feudal Age, even Castle Age, and just everybody going for Imperial. Everyone's been doing it lately. I brought a couple of games forward so far. I think both of them through from Salami. No one else really. I've brought the other games forward, but I've been watching a fair bit of streams, and every single Ottoman player and their uncle seems to be going for fast Imperial. So I'm curious what Fei is going to have up her sleeve today, but her age up is going to be imminent. 4 vils on the gold. Not too long before that 200 threshold is going to be met, and I would suspect that she'll be looking for that school of cavalry here. Obviously, the other thing to note is that there is the option of trade post in a pretty decent spawn here, but that landmark's just going to be so damn far, or so damn close to the trade, it doesn't really make sense to do it. So, as you would expect, the School of Cavalry going to be coming down in the back of the base here for Fei. Leaves space for a ring of farms around the TC. Let's check in, though, with Noha and see how they're doing on that north side of the map. So, Spearman number 1, making their way across. It looks like only a handful of sheep going to be coming back in here for Noha. So, not the best little routine that we've had. Couple of villagers still on wood. I do like this kind of opening. It is a little bit slower on the age up than just your standard rush. And now we start to see that scout looking to accompany the spearman across the map. Now, if you'd like to check out more content from Fei, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch her live. She streams over on Twitch, so go check her out. Go say g'day. Let her know that I sent you over. Noha, I'm not too sure whether they are a content creator. I had a little bit of a look around. Couldn't find too much for them. But I will tell you now, they are a Conqueror 3 player, so they're pretty damn good. So I'm sure we're in for a real treat today. All right, well, Twin Minaret Madrasa are going to be coming down here on the top side of the TC. One of the things I always mention is that with the Twin Minaret Madrasa, ideally you want it in this position here, but it's one of those things where it doesn't have to be in this position. We could see that with Noha going on the top side, you're not really that exposed from the top. I mean, your enemy's going to be attacking you from the south side of your base, if anything, so it's not a huge risk. You know, if you were in the opposite position and you were putting your Twin Minaret Madrasa here, that would be a cause for concern. But fortunately, that's not the case. But we do now start to see that age up going to be coming through. Fei doesn't have a lot of wood in the bank, and that spearman, unfortunately, going to get caught out of position. Not even going to need archers here, as unfortunately, the spearman goes down there. Fei able to snipe it out with the town center, and yeah, what I find quite curious, so we do have the knight now coming out for Fei, but normally there is a much greater presence on the wood line at this point in the game for the French. Normally, you've got 1 or 2 strategies as the French typically. Number 1, 2 TC, right? Nice and simple, 2 TC, how you doing? Open up with the knight, the second TC, and then, you know, you follow it up with whatever it is you want. Fast castle, or maybe some units. I'm more of a fan of the units. I love it. I love going a whole bunch of knights straight into Castle Age, into Royal Bloodlines. That's one of my favorite ways to play it. The other option that you've got is to just play it in the Feudal Age. And obviously we've seen a trend away from that, especially for the Ottomans, but now we're starting to see that for the French as well. So I suspect here, Fei looking to go into a more economic playstyle. So picking up wheelbarrow early on, second knight also in queue here, and a lot of villagers transitioning over. There's the second TC. Okay, so it looks like it was a little bit of an early... I don't even know. Maybe Faye just wasn't 100% sure what she wanted to do. And now coming in blind, does she know where the town center is? She doesn't actually know where the town center is located, but she knows its rough location. You can see the way she comes around the edge of the map here. Got a little bit of an attack route up towards the deer on this top side. We'll know about the gold, I think it is. Yeah, the gold up in this top corner. But we also see a barracks starting to come up from Noha. And I do like this. The barracks is obviously going to give you that ability to upgrade the spears if you so choose to. And there are plenty of spears out already with the 2 spears. That'll be the 3rd one. And plenty of resources in the bank, and there's that knight getting spotted out over on the gold vein. So villagers got to be careful here. Age up about to come through. Look at the speed on this age up though. This is a very slow age up coming through right now. 5 minutes and 46 seconds. A little bit of a quick wall. The same time towards the middle of the map, it looks like the scout is going to be able to pick up that knight, do a little bit of derailing of their plans to come and aggress upon this this base back here. But we do see Noha now going to be looking to put down that military school. Blacksmith going to be coming down. So already into the 2 military schools and the barracks together with the blacksmith. Loving it so far. A nice little defense here. Now, this is where we see that divergence from the norm. Normally, Faye at this point is going to be going for the second TC, which is exactly the case. And then after that, the question is going to be what she looks to follow it up with. Does she look to go into that feudal bush? Does she look to go castle? Because this is all pretty standard. I'm curious why she went that way. Maybe it was just that she was looking to go for the early upgrades. Like we see double broadaxe in, we see wheelbarrow, that sort of thing. And then obviously it wasn't just the 1 knight, it was 2 knights. But I do like these quick walls coming through from Noha. All right, well, let's ride on board with Noha and see exactly what Noha knows. Age up, or rather, upgrade coming through now on those spears. Moving around that top side, looking to try and find that knight. Won't be able to find anything for the moment. And we just have a little bit of a passive game for the moment. Scout going to be coming back, bringing back those sheep. Vizier point. I think we heard it pop off, but I don't see anything. I think they've gone for Anatolian Hills. I think that's what it has to be. Noha picking up Anatolian Hills just for the extra little bit of sheep here. Obviously, Noha not bringing back a whole bunch of sheep early on. We did mention that. We saw the run around pretty much the entire side of Noha's part of the map. And unfortunately, didn't get a whole bunch of sheep. So having to fall back on Anatolian Hills, it's always nice if you can, or it's always nice to be able to fall back on it. You don't want to. You know, going into the I guess realistically going into the Vizier point into the Imams is always the nicest one, or the meta even is not too bad. But we'll watch and wait and see exactly what Noha looks to do here. More upgrades coming through. Horticulture going to be the first one for Noha. Second TC now for Faye. She puts it down on the deer hunt. Pretty standard position here. And we see 13 villagers on wood, which to me indicates it's going to be a feudal age play. And look at all of the production now starting to come down. Plenty of production here. Double archery ranges, which is a pretty standard follow-up to your knight opening. It does feel a little bit delayed, though. I don't know what it is about this. I think it's just those eco upgrades, right? Like, Faye's played with a little bit more of a preference on those eco upgrades rather than just rushing it out. I remember watching Vortex go for something like this, and it was like, you're talking about a 3-minute 50 age up with a wheelbarrow, if I remember correctly, with a wheelbarrow into a single knight, followed up by the town center. And I remember the town center being down at some ludicrous number, like 5 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that. So maybe Faye could look into the build order a little bit more, see what she can perfect, because when it comes to the build order, a lot of people joke about it, say, oh my god, look at this. What a great scout but right here. Faye spots the gold and says, okay, I know what a fast castle looks like when I see one. That looked like a fast castle and a half. Did you guys see the amount of villagers on gold here? What was that all about? Noha just bringing everybody to the fore, saying, hey guys, we need some gold back here, please. Let's get some gold going. I suspect, though, Noha might have a little bit of difficulty with the food, though. Take a look at this. Only 11 villagers on food for the moment. 17 vils on gold. Noha, what is your plans with all of these villagers? So, we've got upgrades coming through. Is Noha planning to get blacksmith upgrades as well as eco upgrades? That would make sense to me, having this many vils on gold, because it's going to be quite a while before you're actually getting enough food to age up here. Let's take a look at the incomes. We're at the 9-minute mark anyway. 500 food a minute, 600 gold a minute. So, yeah, maybe Noha's just thinking about the prospect of the opponent pushing in and losing this gold. So if Faye was to push in with, say, 3 knights and 3 archers, or 3 knights and 5 archers, something like that, you lose the gold. And maybe that's what Noha was fearful of. And we actually start to see that knight coming in. There's plenty of spears here, so we'll be able to defend. And keep in mind, the Sipahi will be able to repel against any potential archers. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Food numbers beginning to draw to a close here as there's 5 sheep remaining on this last stockpile. We'll check in on that other side of the map. Bit of a passive game starting to come out, and Ville's going to be going for the boar. You can tell because they've got their, I was going to say they're shivs. They're not shivs. These are torches. Not really. They're spears. they are stabbing with their torches. I really do like this change. I remember playing as the English and trying to kill the boar, and your villagers would just immediately be like, okay, we'll shoot it. That was not fun. Boars have got a lot of armor. These guys have got 4, I think it's 4 ranged armor. 4 ranged armor, 4 melee armor. Let's double check and see if we can find the other boar. Wait, where's the other boar? I see one boar. Has the other boar been... Oh no, here it is. 4 melee, 4 ranged. So yeah, longbows obviously do 7 damage, but villagers only do 5 damage. So they're not doing a whole lot of range damage there. Alright, well the age ups come through now. So Noha going to be looking for that castle age. A little bit of a tough spot here. Now, one of the tips I would always give to players who are playing as the Ottomans, always leave space for your landmark. One of the biggest things that could happen right now, it's not, but it could be. We talked about the prospect of aggression in the feudal age. What would happen right now if Faye was to push in with, say, 9, 10 archers and 6 or 7 knights right into this? The TC's not going to be able to cover it. And you're just going to be stalling out on your age up. So what do I propose? I would say instead, look to try and get that MIA adjacent to the town center. You want your starting base to basically look like you've got the twin minaret madrasa on one side and then the MIA, you know, right next to it. You're basically playing tic-tac-toe, or you're moving like a king would on a chessboard in your base. You want to keep it all nice and close. Military schools, obviously, you can build them out a little bit further, but you've always got to be careful with the MIA, because if this one does get denied, you're in for a tough time. Age up comes through, though. Noha, now a significant amount ahead on that military number. Also has those free units being produced here. Military school number 3 coming in. Now, keep in mind, we also heard that Vizier Point ring, so there is the prospect of a 4th military school getting thrown down, but take a look back here. We've got ourselves a guild hall coming up for Faye. It's been a while since I've seen a guild hall, but they are coming back in fashion. I think as people are trending away from this aggressive style of French, they realize that, well, the Royal Institute's cool, but it's no guild hall. It's no 2,000 food in the back pocket cool. All right, well, we'll check in with the units of Faye, see how the control is coming through. A little bit of an archer patrolling in the corner. I'm wondering what this is all about. Is Faye just suspecting a market, potentially? I've got no idea what this is. Maybe just she doesn't want that to go idle. Maybe that's the play. I'm curious exactly what the thinking is behind patrolling that archer right there. Maybe just not to read as an idle military unit. All right, well, the upgrades are starting to come through. I just realized, look at Faye's resource. Faye's going fast Imperial. Oh my lord. Okay. That is awesome to see. I'm a little bit scared though, but that is still awesome to see. Is this... I love that this is really where the meta has gone. I mean, you know, when I posted that first video, Faye, wake up, thank you, Faye. When I posted that first video and saying, you know, the fast Imperial meta is upon us, people were like, Drongo, you're always just like making this stuff up. You know, there's no fast Imperial meta. And it's like, bro, I don't know if you've been watching Twitch streams lately, but everybody's been fast Imperialing. That's all they're doing now. And we start to see the response coming out here. I'm a little bit worried for Faye, though, because we do start to see the Red Palace. But look at this position of the Red Palace. I tell you what, man, I would have loved a Red Palace, like, right up here. Get it in there, nice and deep. Town Center going to be going down. Villagers are going to be lost here as well. Noha picking up a nice early victory in this castle age. Keep in mind, all of these units, pretty much all of these units, have been free, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Like, there's obviously units that are being produced. We've got, I was going to say lions that are being produced. I don't know where that came from. Lancers that are being produced. There we go. You can see one of them popping out. Second one now in queue. That's a Sipahi. But that's pretty much it. Everything else is just being funneled into these production facilities. And of course, that 4th military school is now down as well, rounding out your completed amounts of military schools for the castle age. And look at this. Outpost going to get caught. Red Palace going up over on that west side. And I think the other curious thing about this is, like, I really disagree with the positioning on this Red Palace, because number one, you already have a gold in the back. So this gold over here, yes, it's important, but it's not important right now. Like, I would argue with a Red Palace here a lot more than I would over on this side. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a nice spot, but this is a good spot for a keep a little bit later in the game. But we'll see exactly how Faye looks to go about it. I love the I love the way that it looks. Has it been placed in a stealth forest, I think? And the trees that remain on the outside, it looks very nice, though. I'll give it that. This one might go on the thumbnail right here, because we're talking about fast Imperials. Faye going with a, what was it, a 14-minute fast Imperial here. And Noha just saying, well, if you got a fast Imperial, I'll show you what beats it. Noha, obviously, going up against their fair share of fast Imperials recently. And now it looks like we've had it switched over to stone. I don't know why it's showing food. Oh, because Faye's just cashed out. That's why. So she cashed out 180 food, and now she's switched it over to stone. And it looks like we've got 60 stone already stored up in there. So a slow trickle back up onto stone. And we'll be looking to throw down some keeps, I suspect. But battering rams making their way through. Now, where does Faye go from here? Because once you hit Imperial Age, you got a couple of options. The big thing that we've seen Ottoman players do is going to Men-at-Arms. They just spam out Men-at-Arms, look to get the elite army tactics straight away, get your elite upgrades for the Men-at-Arms, and that's pretty much it, right? And then you set all your military schools to... Whoop, rest in peace, little guy. You set all your military schools to Men-at-Arms. Wonderful. I guess for the French, though, you've got the Arbaletria. That's a really good option for you. I genuinely feel like the Arbaletria is not respected enough, and it's not utilized enough. And, you know, maybe I should be the one to do it. But I feel like if there's a unit that you can just spam against anything, it's the Arbaletria. Man, this thing is insane. So not only does it have crazy good ranged damage, it has insane ranged armor and melee armor. Keep in mind there's a unique technology for it, which has already been picked up right here. Crossbow stirrups, another one that shall be picked up shortly. A little bit of an extra attack speed coming through. And now we've got another TC on the back here for Faye. Immediately garrisons. Crossbows just chilling out underneath. We don't see any elite upgrades coming through from Faye just yet. And so now my big question is, oh my god, a third TC? Holy moly, Faye. So my question is, what are you gaining from Imperial, right? Like, because if we look at the Ottomans, and I think that's what makes their fast Imperial so strong. What are you gaining from an Ottoman fast Imperial? Well, immediately my military schools are getting more value, and I have access to a fifth one, so that's what I'm getting. I'm also getting more value from my MIA. That's giving me more value. And what we often see are players move their MIA over from the Mangonel straight over to the Great Bombard, so you're getting that. And then often you'll see them get the elite upgrade straight away. But you compare that to Faye and what she's doing right now, what value are you getting? Great, you've got the town centers. You've got the Red Palace over here. If there's one thing that I could say that Faye is getting out of this, is that she's getting a solid defense on her town centers. Because when you consider the town centers also have that Arbalist ranged attack, it means that you can't really push into this. So it kind of makes sense from that perspective that Faye's not necessarily using this landmark for it being a keep, but rather using it for that bonus. That bonus extra Arbalist emplacement on all town centers. So that's what she's mainly looking for. But we do see on the other side, the response from Noha at 18 minutes into the game is also going to be an Imperial Age. Wow. So we have started to see a real trend here in Imperial Ages, and I promise you, I'm not cherry picking these games. There are plenty of these games. I'm just going to bring you the games that are looking good to me. And I tell you what, this one's looking good to me right now. We haven't had too many units traded out so far this game, but I've got a sneaky suspicion things are about to get a little bit crazy on this south side of the map. And you can see right there, Men-at-Arms just getting obliterated. No chance of that sacred site ever getting taken while that landmark stands. And now into the back of the base, Guildhall may get focused down here. Faye, unfortunately, might fall a little bit short of that 900 resources needed to throw down the additional keep. But have a look at this. Even if she does, it's not going to matter. Arbaletria on the backside here. Going to look to try and tee off. The age up comes through for Noha as well. Both players in Imperial Age before the 19-minute mark. Crossbows teeing off towards the Sipahi. Not going to be able to find too much success here. Needs to cash out this immediately. Oh, already has. Never mind. Faye's already clicked the button. Thank the lords. She's hit the button already, and I suspect we're going to have a keep coming down somewhere. We've got more town centers coming down. Remember that these TCs are going to be a lot stronger than those Castle Age TCs because they have the Arbalist. But even the French right now are doing fast Imperials. And speaking of Arbalist, take a look at this. We got Arbaletria with their elite upgrades, looking to try and defend against all these melee units. Keep in mind they've got that extra melee armor, a total of 7 melee armor at the moment. Look at the damage that they're taking from these spearmen. Look at you're getting a little bit of a tickle there on the backline. Hey, watch out for those lancers though. Those lancers mean business. Horsemen going to be able to come in, look for the cleanup. They've got their elite upgrades as well. And I tell you what, Faye's not in a bad spot. I'm not even kidding you right now. This could be a next level French strategy that we're beginning to see. The fast Imperial meta is actually crazy. It's wild to me how much this is changing the landscape of things. And you might be looking at this wondering how the heck would a French fast Imperial work like this? And just to explain it for you once again. So when you go up with the Red Palace, what you're doing is you're throwing down a keep. And we talked shit about this keep positioning early on in the game. But the reality is this keep is, if anything, it's just a safe area where Faye can keep her villagers and she knows they're going to be safe. Wonderful. You wouldn't be able to do that if you've got your keep in the middle of the map right here. You know, you're always going to be exposed from one side or the other, where here you don't really have an exposure point. You lock down the sacred site. So I actually take that back, because the majority of the use case for this Red Palace isn't in fact the keep itself. It's that upgrade. It's that upgrade, that extra. It activates the Obelisk emplacement in all keeps and town centers. And now we see behind here that those town centers all of a sudden get spammed out like crazy. We've got 3 TCs, 4 TCs, and of course, take a look at that villager count as Faye crosses the 3-digit threshold. Up to 100 villagers right now, 21 minutes into this game. Faye looking very solid. Noha, on the other hand, still a single TC, going for it. Just producing 1 villager at a time. You got to respect Noha for it. You know, I think that's the pretty standard Ottoman play, right? That's what they want to do. 5 military schools. Actually, how many military schools have we got? I see 4. There's the 5th one. So 5 military schools and 1 TC, and just that's pretty much it. So the burden is really going to be on Noha to overcome what Faye is throwing down right now, because I'll be honest, I think Faye's in a better position at this point. Noha does have 4 relics, and I suspect we'll probably have Tithe Barns. And we do now start to see more and more units being produced. You got to remember that the majority of resources for this civilization isn't coming through. I mean, it probably is coming through from villages, but there's a significant portion as well that are just coming through for free. And that's the big thing about it. But we do start to see Faye now losing out a bit of that food. We'll need to start thinking about a farm transition. Does have access to a couple of deer back here. Also, we have that boar over towards the east. It's got a little bit on it, but to be honest, I wouldn't really be too fussed about it. Does she look for additional town centers? Is that what she's going to do? How many TCs are we talking here, Faye? Because you got 3 in the main base, a 4th one out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 5th one. Oh. Whoa. Was that what we saw? No, it was just a mill. It was just a mill. Meanwhile, have we just got more crossbows coming through? We do. Look at this, or rather arbaletier, not crossbows. Now, where's that elite? I'm looking to try and find the upgrade that gives them... Oh, no, never mind. It's not the upgrade that gives them extra ranged armor. It's the Pavis shield. It gives them an extra 5 ranged armor. Also gives them an extra tile of weapon range. So you go from 5 tiles up to 6 tiles. I'm looking forward to this. Honestly, I think Faye's going to do absolutely awesome. One of the things that I always talk about, though, is if you're ever thinking about going for a crossbow-centric composition, you have to... Hey, mate, I'm trying to talk here. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to lecture. All right, this is a visual lecture. One of the things that you need to do is you need to pay attention to siege. If your enemy's got mangonels, it's all over Red Rover for you. So you need to make sure that you're able to deal with enemy siege. And obviously playing against the Ottomans, we think about, okay, what are the Ottomans good at? They're good at siege. They're good at siege because they get it for free. So they can choose what they want to do, when they want to do it, when it comes to siege. And that's going to make it difficult here for Faye without Springles. Obviously didn't go for the... I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of the other French landmark in the Imperial Age? The Royal College of Artillery, I want to say. Or just maybe the College of Artillery. I think that's it. The College of Artillery. Obviously didn't go for it. Gotta be careful here, Faye. She's got full vision, though, so she should be fine. Crossbows. Gotta be careful not to get caught. Or arbaletier. She's gonna turn around and throws down the Pavis shield. Oh, no, but she's moved at the last second. They lose their entire bonuses. Faye doing it an absolute big no-no. Moving the arbaletier after you pop that extra Pavis shield. Now they're gonna be copping that extra range damage. They're also gonna be losing that 1 range, but we still start to see that the numbers here for Noha are looking really strong. Battering rams as well. Look at this. Oh, we got ourselves a mating ritual. No, never mind. They've snapped out of it. It was a quick... Tell you what, they're quicker than I am. Sorry. We move on. We move forward. Arbaletier. Not a pretty day to be an arbaletier. So what did we need here on the front line? I mean, we needed more units, that's for sure. What else realistically could have done it? I think just more units, but it's one of those things. There's an interesting dynamic between men-at-arms and crossbowmen. So... at low numbers, men-at-arms beat crossbows. Like, if you're talking like three on three, the men-at-arms will beat the crossbows. If you're talking like mid-range numbers, say 15 versus 15, crossbows win hands down. But once that number goes back up again to like around the 35 to 40 mark, the men-at-arms get the advantage again. And yes, technically, if the crossbows just kite to the end of the world, they will obviously win. But often we find that that doesn't happen because the men-at-arms will have flanking maneuvers, they'll have mangonels in the rear, and obviously we didn't include those in our initial calculations, but it's hard because there's so many damn variables. But I can assure you that once the game state gets to that point where you're like, I've got 45 crossbow, it's not a good position to have 45 crossbow against that many men-at-arms. Don't get me wrong, they're still good. They're still damn good. It's just that you've got to be real careful with them. All right, well, let's check in on the north. Noha, obviously, winning that fight pretty handedly. And we do start... Is there siege works? Wait, does siege works affect battering? I don't think siege work affects battering rams here, Noha. Let's have a look. I mean, there's no buff coming up here. Can we just quickly check? 0.5... I don't even know what I'm looking at. 0.342. Oh, it does affect it. It gives them a little bit more attack speed. Each of the battering rams has got slightly more attack speed. And now those crossbows or arbitrary are going to be trying their best to stay alive. Sipai, you're going to be just chasing them down. Yet to receive their elite... Oh, excuse me. Elite. Herculite. Herculite. There you go. It's a reference for anyone who gets it. Yeah, yet to get that elite upgrade. But look at this. Janissary is also going to be rising to the occasion here. We're yet to see a great bombard on the field, but I tell you what, the Janissary company is here in force. Have a look at this. We've got 6 of these bad boys out here. Plenty more in queue. Not to mention the fact that we've also got ourselves a great bombard in queue. Town Center went down very quickly. Remember, there is the Arbalest emplacement that is also on these keeps. So we'll be able to deal with any of these units pretty quickly. And oh, look at this behind. Horseman looking to try and pick off some siege. Not going to be able to find it. Mango shots coming through. Faye got to be careful here. 27 minutes into this game. Her fast Imperial strategy looks like it may have come up a little bit short of the goal. You can see that she was obviously focused on villages. Speaking of villages, have a look at the difference here. We're 60 villages up right now for Faye. It's a huge difference. And yet Noha just powers through because it's all just going straight into the military, right? You got to remember that Noha at the moment is making... Oh my god, they're on Janissaries. Look at this. Janissary every 40 seconds. Oh god. This is exactly like the Men-at-Arms all over again, but instead you're actually getting good units like the Janissary. Hey, don't at me. Don't at me, Ottoman enjoyers. Don't at me. We have waited a long time to see this, Ottoman enjoyers. Now you're getting to see it. The Ottomans are back, baby. I mean, to be fair, it was, I wouldn't say Faye's strategy was a meme strategy. I would just say that it felt like there was just a shortage of units. Maybe a little bit of the positioning on her army was not the best. That's what I would say. I feel like she was a very small way away from winning that fight. Town Center's going to go down though. More battering rams just cleaning up back here. Next one is that capital Town Center. No way this one's going down. You can see that they're slowly but steadily losing out on their numbers, and eventually they will go down. But more and more units going to continue to come in. Look at the Janissaries now. No Janissary upgrades in just yet for Noha. So one of the things to note is the Janissary have got multiple upgrades that they can look to pick up, especially now that they're in the Imperial Age. And all of these villagers going to get caught. Where were these villagers going? Are they looking for gold? They're looking for gold. There's no gold back here. There's 2,800 gold back here. What are we doing over here, Faye? You're getting caught with your pants down. No. This can't be happening right now, Faye. Not enough resources to throw down a keep. I got no idea what these guys were up to. But speaking of getting caught with their pants down right now, so I've got a baby monitor in front of me, and I could see my son on there, and he was asleep. And he's woken up at this point, and I'm worried because he's taken his pants off and he's taken his nappy off. I can see his bare little bottom right now. Oh gosh, I hope his mum gets to it quickly because that's going to be cause for concern. Oh geez, Louise. I feel like screaming out like, emergency! Like, oh man, just the other day he peed on the carpet, the little shit. You give him like 10 seconds of freedom and they just take it and they're like, yeah, have one of those for you. How's that? It's not good. It's not good. That's going to stain. But thank you, mate. Oh god, he's got an angle on him. I really hope she gets up there soon. Whew. All right. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the action here. Because things are starting to develop. Randy is out on the field. We got one of them. Second one is in queue. Fei Chan max at 200. And Noha, 190. The population difference not going to be that big until you consider the villager count. And now, look at this, getting chased away. Reboldequent, Randy, where are you? Let's see it. You've been upgraded. You've been updated. There it is, Randy coming out of the blocks immediately. Did you see that? He didn't even think about it. He was just out and he was just booming, taking names from the get-go. Randy the Reboldequent, little bit of a retreat coming through. Come on, Randy, turn it around, mate. I know that there's a second one out there. That's Randalina. Where is she? No, Randy. Randy, no. Oh, Randy. Oh, you couldn't make it. You couldn't get back in time. Second Reboldequent. Oh my god, those things just... oh god. No, don't let your Reboldequents die, Faye. You gotta keep these guys alive. This is your saving grace. Where are we retreating to, and why are we retreating away from the keep? Look at these guys. Oh, Faye, don't let it all go. Not right now. No, Faye, no. And now, unfortunately, Faye continues to make her way back towards these keeps. She's got a huge villager advantage, but when it comes to the military, she's just getting steamrolled completely. Those Reboldequent could have been the difference between Faye winning and losing this game, but my fear is now that it may be too far gone. The Janissary numbers back here are very, very strong, but hold on, hold on. There's a Mangonel. The Mangonel turns around. He says, hey, little guys, how you doing over there? They say, yeah, we're doing fine. We're just going to come stand right next to you. But the second Mangonel backs him up. Says, get away from my brother. And never talk to my son again. That's the meme. That's the meme I was trying to think of. Another keep going to be going down here. And Fei-chan starting to look a little bit worrisome. Great Bombard is out for the Ottoman player. Noha looking to take this game by storm. Keep thrown down in the middle of the map. Obviously, that edge over on the west is still doing fine. Large gold vein in the east, in control of Noha. And that's the one that's going to matter. Think about trade as well. We can see back here that there is a Royal Knight. Market did get denied, so Noha was looking for trade. Won't be able to find it, at least for the moment. He's looking for that wall to come up. And oh, look at this. We got Fei-chan with the villagers up here. They've already taken 3,500 off that. Additional keep going to come down right next to the Great Bombard. He says, hey guys, I'm not sure if you realize this, but there's a Great Bombard on the loose. It has been reported. And he's not even he's not even killing the keep. He's just like, I'm just going to kill the villagers. I'm sniping the villagers. And Faye just gets away with the quick cancel right there immediately. And unfortunately, that Bombard will go down. A lot of villagers lost today. But, I mean, there's TCs back here. How many we got? We're on 2 TCs for the moment. You know what I think is actually so funny, and I've just thought about this, is that French are the new Delhi Sultanate, right? Like, you think about the Delhi Sultanate and the way that they play. So, they get Castle Age, and they get their unique technology, which turns their keeps to town centers. The French, on the other hand, they get Imperial Age, and they get a landmark that turns their town centers into keeps. There you go. How's that for you? A little bit of a switcheroo. I tell you what, I'm really starting to worry because the little guy is still standing up. I think my wife must be cooking dinner or something like that. And well, she's obviously she's a bit busy. She's a bit busy at the moment, so I can't believe it. He's thrown his nappy across the room. Oh gosh. More baby updates going to be coming through. You know, we got another one coming soon next month. He'll be arriving as well. So, you know, little Drongo, baby Drongo's going to have a little brother. And, well, it's 2 under 2. It's going to be fun. We'll say that much. All right, well, numbers starting to build here for Faye. She's actually looking pretty good. Keep in mind, she's got that second TC. So she'll be able to pump out the villagers. And speaking of pumping out the villagers, plenty of them in queue. The whole time, though, Noha has just been sitting on the 1 TC. Obviously hasn't had the chance to make a market, has just been denied, and Faye doing a really good job of keeping this patrol up. So I do think that Archer early game was 100% looking to deny any potential market. And now we start to see more units being cleaned up, and all of a sudden the Ottoman enjoyers no longer going to be rejoicing. No longer rejoicing at all. Faye starting to take control of this map. Great Bombards though, look at this. Where did that shot go? Was it this single Arbitria that still stands? You got shot with a Great Bombard and it's like, no. Arbitria numbers looking to move up here. I'm liking it, Faye. Let's see what you got. Continuing to push up. She's got good siege control here. The main threat is going to be from those Great Bombards. The Great Bombards will do pretty effectively against these Arbitria if they are boosted up together, or rather all stacked up together towards that north side. It looks like the keep going to be slowly targeting down that palisade gate. No prospect of any trade going to be coming through on this backside. Markets, nothing in the corner. And look at this. Has Faye got... Oh, she's got a patrol route here. Faye, I tell you what, I'm loving it. This is actually so smart. Because one of the reasons why you want the patrol like this is so that you can use the all-idle military key. If you use the all-idle military key, these units won't get picked up, which means that they stay there. And they continue patrolling, continue that line of sight in the area just for any potential villagers. So they're able to deny it. Now Faye, looking to solidify this central position. She seems to have evened it up pretty well at this point. Triple Mangonel out as well. We'll deny any kind of Janissary prospects. One thing you got to be careful of are those Great Bombards. They apparently made Great Bombards great again. Let's see exactly how great they're going to be here. Sipahi going to be running in. Arbitrary turn around. And now Mangonel's getting some big shots off. Elite Janissary getting taken out. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode. It's time. The Great Bombard, what are you doing here, Great Bombard? Sir, you've come to the wrong neighborhood. Great Bombard, no! No, Randy's going to get you. And now the Great Bombard comes in. It was the greatest bait alive. Actually, I'm not sure if that was really a great bait. It was more of just a waste. Sipahi jostling for position. We bring back the UI. I thought we were going to have a big battle there. Turns out it wasn't the case. Another keep going to be thrown down here. Not a lot of villagers. I'd love to see more villagers on this. This is a pivotal position. 1,600 gold left in this one. Bombards turn around. I think this might be it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. As Faye begins to defend the Reboldequin on the back line. Randy firing off. It's the Battle of Siege right now. Bombards on the top side going to be looking to tee off towards anything they can get their hands on. And just absolute obliteration right now. The front line just mowing through all these Arbitraries. Bombard's going to be looking to move up, seeing what they find, and it's going to be the keep on the back line. It wouldn't even matter if you brought double the vills, and look at the evisceration of that army. Faye just going to be throwing her head in her hands right now as she gets chased away from this. More and more Bombards going to be coming down from that northern position and looking to put pressure on this keep, looking to clean out any villagers off this gold mine, which obviously there's none anymore, but just in case, get out of here, villagers. And there's a second gold mine. Oh my god, 3,800 gold in this one. Faye just not see it. Look at this. Noha sees it, but Faye doesn't see it. She put the... What is going on right now? How is it that you've got 1,600 taken out of this one? We've got 4k left on this. I guess it's just that classic case of don't take the safe ones, take the aggressive ones, and then the safe ones become the aggressive ones because everyone's fighting over them in the late game. Jeez Louise, talk about a back and forth this game. I tell you what, I thought Faye had the upper hand for a good little bit right there. And now the scores have turned. Noha with almost a 2,000 point advantage. Keep in mind behind this, not a whole lot of villages, but a huge amount of production. Slowly creeping towards that 200 population. Again, look at all the production that is back here. Remember those free units still coming out of the military schools. What's Noha on? Just Janissaries? Is that it? It's literally just Janissaries. No knights, no Sipahi, no men-at-arms, nothing for melee units. It's all those ranged units. Just wanting to get those free Janissaries for the extra gold. Remember that those units do cost quite a lot of gold. So by getting them for free, you're basically getting more free gold than what you should be getting. But over here, villagers, gotta be careful. Oh no! Faye gotta be careful that she doesn't lose that cannon. The cannon almost going down right there. Looking to target down a keep. We do see the Great Bombard emplacement coming through. Looks like it won't be coming through in time though. Cannon gets repaired back up. Keep under pressure. Great Bombards to the north. There's 3 of them right now. And Faye numbers starting to build once again. Sipahi sitting back on the back line, ready to come through at any second. Janissaries teeing off. We head once again into the cinematic mode as those Bombards look to try and find a way through. Absolutely eviscerate a single village on the poor little guy. Janissaries continue falling back, and we start to see it. The dream composition. The haters right now. Where are you at, haters? We are seeing it. The classic Ottoman composition that I called out from the very beginning that when we saw the Ottomans. I said Sipahi, Janissary, Great Bombard. You won't see anything stronger in the late game, and it looks like it took a couple patches, but we're finally there. And the Janissaries teeing off towards those Arbitraries, a unit that should technically counter them, and there is just no end in sight to this green madness from the north. Keep. Oh no. Oh no. No. That's a lot of resources. Oh my god, did you see the AoE damage on that one? Whew, haters BTF. I was gonna say BDFO. BTFO? I think that's an MMO. No, that's BDO. Yeah, BDFO will do. I mean, BDFU also works. I mean, at this point, there's trouble in paradise. And obviously, paradise was once the base of Faye. That is no longer paradise. That is now purgatory for Faye before she resigns and exits the game. Because the landmarks are starting to come down. This is the capital town center under pressure here. for the first time in this game, the first real time in this game. We can see 4 bombards looking to try and tee off towards these units. You can see that it might actually lose one here. It's down to 40 health, but manages to keep it alive. Unfortunately, oh my lord, 14 health. It looks like it won't go down. The hero bombard saves it. Oh, I tell you what, they talk about making bombards great again. They are great, I can confirm. Look at that army, and Faye will tap out. That's GG. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ottomans are back. Even up against a fast Imperial counter strategy, they can manage to find it. If you haven't already, check out Faye. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch her live on Twitch, and make sure you pre-order the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. Link in the pinned comment below.